Yo, what is up, world? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Got CFT and DMV, and we are cover three. It's been a minute since we did this, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since we did this because I was getting ready for the show today. And I was like, damn, we got a lot of draft stuff. I had a whole bunch of draft photos and draft film all cut up, man. So we ain't did cover three since the draft. And we know a
It was
lot of
88.
people asking for it. So we had to like link up our schedules and come out with a banger because we know there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. So before we start, as my dog Rome always says, house rules. Make sure y'all turn that notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. Hit that like button on your way in. If you could do us a quick favor, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Just give them a quick little 10-second break, y'all. 10-second, taking 10 seconds to kind of, you know what I'm saying, do some of the housekeeping items before we dive into it. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about. Salute to everybody in the chat. All right, so I'm gonna start with this, man. Because like I said, we didn't do no cover three since the draft. So I'm gonna make this quick. In Rome, I'm gonna ask you on the spot, right? Give me one player that the Dallas Cowboys drafted that you can say he's on my tab, he's with me, he's good.
No, as far as like, well, it ain't a player that he's on my tab like I chose. You mean like this somebody that I picked?
No. Somebody that you vouching for that's gonna turn up instantly.
I'm about to say my tab weak.
No, yeah. They ain't pick nobody we had. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take nobody from our damn box. You know what I'm saying?
I had Jadon Blue on the draft.
Like, yeah, I know room like Jadon.
Jadon Blue, is that your dog?
No,
you stamping him?
It's not even about Jadon Blue. The player you know how you gravitate towards a player. Mine's is Donovan Izaraku.
Okay.
That's I can't help it. That I'm watching him train. I'm bought in. He going because I haven't seen that type of twitch, except for Micah.
Right.
So now he gonna be special.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So we got Donovan, got D Easy. All right, DMV. Who going on your tab, man? Who's going?
You know what, bro? I'll take Jadon. I'll take Jadon.
Hey, we can rock with the same player.
Because I do think he'll be a weapon. I think he'll be a weapon into our offense. I think we'll be able to use him correctly. I like his speed. I like him in the passing game. That's where I think we'll utilize him the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then all right. So I'm not going to do the same because I would probably say D Easy if I had to make a play because I feel like this kid's going to be a phenomenal. Honestly, special, I didn't think he was going to be there for the Dallas Cowboys. I thought he was going to go to Philly. I was sitting there at the draft. I was like, who Philly going to draft? I was like, probably Jahad Campbell or Donovan, right? So I ain't going to say Donovan. I'm going to go with a little gamble, but I really liked him. I loved his film. And I'm going to go with Siobhan Revel. I'm going to go with the cornerback. I feel like once he gets back from the injury, fully healthy, I feel like he's going to turn up. So I'm going to go with Siobhan Revel. I'm putting him on my tab, but I also put D Easy. And I know I could say Tyler Booker, but that ain't no fun. You know what I'm saying? First round. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what it is, though?
No
you know what's crazy? Like this, I'll stand on this. Yo, we somehow got 3 first-round talents.
Right.
And that's not me being hyperbolic. It's literally just because Revel was hurt. If he's not hurt, we don't even got a chance of getting him.
Right.
It's like when the Ravens got my man in the second round. That's what's the pass rusher name? That got hurt in the combine.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I
forgot his name, but he was supposed to go first round, and then he got hurt in the combine. And he dropped to the second. We got Revel because he recovering. So normally we got literally 3 first-round picks. I think in the first. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I'm kind of
agree. I 1000% agree. And like I said, y'all, I mean, we don't want to go back to draft talk, but I mean, we ain't did it since our last mock, right?
I'm about to say, bro, like a minute, bro.
Yeah. Was it Marcus Inbow? No, it wasn't Inbow. No,
I'm gonna text it to you later because it's gonna come to me later.
Yeah,
I remember.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Somebody in the chat, tell us. Y'all remember.
Yeah, but I feel like when it comes to the Cowboys, who is it?
I'm about to say chat know everything, dog. They're getting
it. Chat feel no.
Mafi?
No, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't Mafi. I know what you're talking about. I can see his face right now. But the way I feel like the Dallas Cowboys, what they did. What's up to my dog Nick's in the building? What's going on with you, bro? What's up, Ben? I see everybody in chat. We'll get to y'all here in a second. Huh?
Oh, he said sup chat. I thought he said super chat.
What's good, Nick? Super chat, man. So yeah, but I feel like when it came to the Cowboys draft, what they really did is they set their draft board and they kind of let it fall, and it ended up where it kind of looked like when we went D-end in the second round, like, but I mean, you could have honestly, I had Donovan as a first round talent, back to the first round talent, and then you had Siobhan Revel fall to you. It's like, well, damn, you're like, why not take them? So I feel like the Dallas Cowboys, from a draft board standpoint, they executed the hell out of
execution.
Now, they kind of left some things on the table, but then we'll talk about that here in a second. Once they went and cleaned up the mess, I really had no problems. There's a few little quirks I probably did differently, but for overall, for the most part, I think the Dallas Cowboys had a good draft, man. So overall, I think I had it at an A- originally after draft, but after we made that trade, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Will McClay, you good with me, dog. You good with me. Now I'm thinking about this damn defensive end that the Ravens got. But yeah, salute to everybody in the chat. Like I said, man, like the content, share the content, let everybody know that we're live, and we're going to dive into some stuff now.
Hit that like button, y'all.
Hit that like button. Speaking of which,
hit that like
draft. Yeah, Mike Green. Was it Mike Green?
It's a couple years. It's gonna come back to me.
I was about to say, I thought it was a couple years ago.
Oh, no. That was a draft that Tyler Smith was in.
He got hurt in the combine.
Yeah.
Like ACL.
Was he out of Clemson? Is it Clemson or Michigan? I think it was out of Clemson.
I know
what you're talking about.
End.
I know exactly who you're talking about. No, Mike Green, not
now.
Mike Green's who they got this year. Mike Green's who they got this year, but a few years ago, damn, what was his name? Y'all know the name. Yeah, I think he was in Tyler Smith's draft. Remember, he was going to be a first round pick. He got hurt in the combine, and then he went to the Ravens.
Do what they always do. Wait.
You know what I'm saying? Ravens, they always
do. Yeah, bro. The Ravens. I'll tell you what, we did the Ravens number this year. I think we kind of drafted like the Ravens, and I like it.
Right.
I like it a lot.
Right. So, like I said, overall, I had an A- on the draft because I was kind of about not drafting a wide receiver. And then I remember clear as day, I was in the gym, phone started going crazy. The Dallas Cowboys had made the trade for George Pickens. So Roman kicked David Ojabu. Damn it. Thank you, chat. That's him. David Ojabu.
Ojabu. That was it.
Was he out of Michigan?
I do remember that too, dude.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He had the grown man body. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be bothered by that shit all the show. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, he's out of Michigan. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Rome. So when we got the news that George Pickens was traded to the Dallas Cowboys, bro, what is your original thoughts? And still to today, a few weeks later, how are you feeling about that move?
You already know I'm turned up, bro. Like I was talking to y'all about this earlier in the group chat. Y'all don't understand like how it's been so long for something genuinely positive. Not like you got to twist your mind around like, yo, I mean, that's kind of nice. It was some genuine positivity. Like we got a great player. I'm not trying to hear none of the media. Yo, he a head case. I don't care about none of that. He about to bring energy to this team. And that's the word that I keep sticking to because you could almost tell, like you even listen to him in the interview, he about to bring something different. Like he is confident in his ability. Like that confidence kind of come off of him when you hear him talk. He know he nice. You know what I'm saying? And that bleeds through to your teammates. I'm so happy that we added a player like that, that don't shy away from the big moment. I think George Pickens welcomes it like CD do. And I'm just happy we got literally listen to CD. You don't got to listen to me.
Right.
CD said, yo, hey, listen, we got 2 1s. Like when your star receiver is that excited about another receiver entering the room, you would think it'd be the opposite. You know what you got. Like CD know. So don't worry about me. I don't even play. Look, your star receiver that's an all-pro is excited to add George Pickens to the room. And I said this the other day, and I'll let y'all go. CD ain't never been this hype about another receiver.
I mean, bro. And I was saying this politely. CD wasn't this giddy when we traded for Mingo.
Not even close.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't this giddy. I mean, CD was tweeting. He was doing all sorts of stuff, right?
What's I about to say? Mingo. Pickens said that CD was the first person to call him.
Right.
Yeah, bro. CD was.
Well, remember, CD had put the descriptive meme out the night before. So obviously they knew because Dak said that. So he knew, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of shows that excitement. What's up, my dog Philly 500 in the building, man? We'll get to y'all.
That's royalty right there. That's royalty.
Philly 500.
Royalty, man, over there. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was some excitement when it came to George Pickens. And I'm going to actually play the interview from George Pickens today because I feel like personally he has gotten, I don't want to say a bad rap because some of the stuff might be a little warranted, right, in Pittsburgh. But I think people have this narrative that he is a off the field cancer. I saw some people calling him Kelvin. Like, it's not that. Like, he just is a competitive spirit that wants to win in between the lines. I think off the field, the kid is kind of very mellow, which he talked about in the interview today. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
And be with CD and be on the field with Dak for the first time.
It feels good. First start is always, growing point. So it feels good right now just getting around the guys.
You've had good brothers. CD mentioned that you guys have trained in the past together. Yeah. Now that your teammates have gotten to practice together, I know it's only been a couple of times, but what's that dynamic been like?
It's been great, honestly. Like he said, we trained before. And then just being here, learning the plays, just a good vibe.
What did you know of Dak before, and how do you kind of what are your early impressions of him working with him?
Very smart. The quarterback, that's kind of one of the biggest things you need, and he's very smart.
When you found out about the trade, was CD one of the first people you reached out to?
He was actually one of the first people to reach out to me, besides Jerry and, the actual people. But, as far as players, he's one of the first players.
What was that conversation like with you two? Was it just...
Like I told him, just good vibes. He was super happy. Some of the guys on defense as well, whole team super happy.
What surprised were you about?
Yeah. See, I like his temperament, y'all. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
He seems confident, though.
Yeah,
he's happy, bro.
Kid, right? A confident kid in DMV. We were talking about this in the chat. He feels like he's happy to be here, and I feel like you get an opportunity to not only rewrite your story, but you get to do it with all eyes on you, and you get to do it with CeeDee Lamb and also Dak Prescott. You got to think about this, y'all. He ain't had no quarterback in Pittsburgh. He still ain't got one till this day if he would have stayed there. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why he said. That's why he jumped out. That's why he jumped out and said he's smart. When he said that, I was like, wow. Like, really? You was with Russ? You know what I'm saying? You was with Fields? Yeah, I mean, I would have thought Russ would have been smart. You know what I'm saying?
He's been saying that since he talked it. Like, he would, like, people think he was just giving lip service. That's it. All right, that's pause. My fault. My chat been tripping lately with his pause. Don't y'all start. People just thought he was just saying, like, yo, Dak's smart. Dak's this, Dak's that, just saying anything that hype up the situation. I think when you first enter the room with Dak and you in the huddle and you realize he really do be like, I've heard Aaron Rodgers give him props and other quarterbacks that ain't being unbiased. Right. I mean, that ain't being biased, say like, nah, he's playing the game at a high level, but he probably's like, yo, Russ wasn't doing all this stuff as far as like, Dak probably, as we talked about last year, Dak probably be doing too much.
Right.
Pre-snap. And things like that. So to hear his mind when he started talking ball, George is probably like, hold on, I've been dealing with Mason Rudolph. What is this?
Right. Yeah, and Justin Fields, right? So there's going to be some excitement. Also, let's keep it a buck. He's in a contract year, so there's going to be some money, opportunity. We know who his agent is. Yeah, go get your money. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like he will be a long-term play in Dallas. I don't feel like he would explode and the Cowboys will use him.
Have to be Antonio Brown.
Yeah. They'll definitely keep him if it explodes and everything kind of goes fair. But overall, y'all, I'm still ecstatic about this because I don't think, even if I like Mac, right? I don't feel like you were getting this. If I was to put George Pickens in this year's draft class, he would probably be number one on my board.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
So this is the cheat code. We getting veteran George Pickens. We getting 3-4 years. Like, all right, maybe if it was all things equal, we could have a discussion. But veteran George Pickens,
it's as I tell people, even though I was joking, I was dead ass serious. He younger than Schoolmaker.
Like, that's crazy.
He's younger than School. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to play in a culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's playing some big moments. So this is not a rookie. There's not a rookie I think that you could probably bring into Dallas to be opposite of CeeDee Lamb that gives you more upside potential in day one ready than George Pickens. And the fact that we made the trade early and got him. So now he's there at OTAs, which we'll talk about here in a second. He'll go through a full camp in Dallas, learn the playbook.
Yeah, we ain't get him in August 19th.
Hey, so let me ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
The George Pickens trade, where did you have our draft grade? And then with adding him, where did it upgrade? Because I know mine upgraded.
Yeah, I had the draft originally at A-. After George Pickens trade, I said, I don't give a damn about anything. I was done. A+ it, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really made it A+.
Yeah, I feel
B+,
like
and that made it an A for me.
Right. Yeah. You know, the only thing I would say probably that leaves me a little disgruntled when it comes to the draft is, a running back, right? And I feel like the extra offensive lineman, the right tackle is a little bit overkill. You know what I'm saying? Like, but outside of that, man, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys really killed this draft, right? Just from like a draft nerd perspective, you know what I'm saying? But also I just think from a futuristic perspective, when we look back on this draft class, like you said, you're probably walking away with 3 day one starters.
3 starters, bro.
If healthy with Revel, right? I feel like Jadon Blue is going to be a slow play, but around week 6, week 7, you'll see the tweets about how he needs more carries, right? So I feel like that can possibly be the case. You're getting about 4 guys. And then a sneaky good play, and we'll talk about this here in a second, is Shamar James out of Florida.
Bro, like, having a good. We're gonna talk about that.
I feel like Shamar James, man, he's like, you know, I hate calling him this, but it's like he's like a Timu Overshown. You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of that wiry outside linebacker that can move sideline to sideline. Phenomenal blitzer coverage.
He's explosive though, right?
I mean, he didn't have the most explosive combine, but you watch the film. It's there, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of it's downhill, it's straight line. It's like, so if you're looking to blitz someone in the A gap or B gap and set his hair on fire, he's that guy. So I feel like Matty E is going to have some certain packages for him where you just unleash havoc, and you have D Easy, you have Fowler, you have Micah, you know, you have some of these guys, you know, maybe Sam Williams, you know, turns the corner post injury. You can really peel your ears back and get after the quarterback.
You mind if I say something real quick, Tuck?
Yeah.
You brought up the draft grade, and I think we all happy about the draft grade. What's good, Stargazer?
Stargazer in the building.
I was grading the offseason before the draft, and I had it like C+B. Mm-hmm. And really, what was carrying it was Dante Fowler. I feel like Fowler was a really good sneaky pickup, 10+ sacks, excellent, right? If you just do the George Pickens trade pre-draft, right? Because trades and free agent signings are what carry the offseason. When you had Solomon, the good depth pickup, you had Fowler, you trade for George Pickens, bro. I would have had us at a B+ for the offseason, probably an A, because George Pickens is like, I'm tired of trying to downplay it for to make everybody else happy. It probably made it an A. And then you have that draft on top of it. This is probably the best Cowboys offseason. Like, I ain't trying to be hyperbolic, but in like maybe a decade, bro. Like full offseason.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead, DMV.
I would say the last time I think that we had an offseason like this, I want to say we rebuilt the line with Kyle Cozier and the kid the dude from Arizona. Like when Romo needed a line, all of a sudden, like he went out there and got some.
It's a deep cut, DV.
Yeah.
Right.
That's about a little bit longer than a decade, but that line ended up being impactful for us. So
yeah, because Amari don't count. We did that in season. I'm talking about like not when we were messing up. Okay, let's go fix something. I'm talking about like full just off season, making the trade early too. I gotta give it to him. Like I know Stephen Jones is in that stream smiling and acting goofy.
Right. Well, let me ask y'all this to play devil's advocate slightly, right?
Facts.
Do we think it's because they are wanting to be more aggressive from a winning capacity, or is it because we had 20+ free agents that we needed to re-sign, so they had to put together a complete roster some way, somehow? Because, I mean, they lost guys, right? So it wasn't like they had this foundation already. You lost D-Law, you lost Zach Martin, you lost J. Lou, you lost Chauncey Golston, who are 4 very important pieces. You lost Brandon Cooks, you know. So it's like you had to make moves, you know. So was it? Do y'all think it was because of that reason, or you think it's because they're still wanting to be competitive and close the gap on Philly and Kansas City and those types of teams?
Hey, y'all, we see the super chats too. I want y'all to think we just
we're gonna get to the super chats.
We got
a section built out for that, y'all. So we see them all. Keep them coming.
We want to make sure y'all. I want y'all to think we just like whatever.
Right. Yeah. We see them all. We appreciate them, man. Keep the super chats coming.
You want to take it, DMV?
Yeah. So I think it's for a multitude of reasons, bro. I think that for one, you were losing the fan base. That's the number one. You had to appease the fan base. Second, I'm starting to see Steven really out there more in the forefront. So I think that now this is Steven's probably his full show now. And it looked like Steven really pulling the strings on a lot of the stuff. Like you saw him, they interviewed him and talking about
DMV co-owner Steven Jones.
Co-owner, yeah.
So that's a nugget.
Add his footprint to
that's
stuff.
A nugget though. On the low.
Yeah. And so Steven, I think, was instrumental in getting the Pickens deal done. And, we the fan base had looked at Steven like he was the bad guy. So I think that they're trying to paint the picture that, he is here to try and win. We also have money to do other things too. I don't know if y'all heard today where he said, hey, we still not done. So they could still add more, which they need to do. And I'm happy for it. But to add the other part, competitive. We have to, dog. We have to with this schedule. So,
I want to say this because I want to add on the DMV said because I agree with you. I think, and I know Tuck been telling me about how Shotty kind of like a used car salesman. You know what I'm saying? He out there trying to sell the room, and I agree with you completely. I remember leading up to some of these moves we made, and when we were in full-fledged, I'm tired of this team not doing nothing mode. Before the free agency started, and we were talking about what kind of coach we needed, right? And I was saying I had no idea it was going to be Shotty. I was like, I need a coach that could come in here and try to outsell Jerry or Steven and not just be – because I think Mike McCarthy's problem was he was too prideful.
Right.
He like, I ain't going to talk to them. Whatever. I'll deal with whatever they give me. I think Shotty got a little bit of like just worrisome little brother to him. Because Will McClay said that it was Shotty and Jerry, but mainly I think Shotty that was like, oh man, we're gonna follow up on that Pickens thing. Like, what's up? And because I don't think Shotty has the like we were saying earlier in the chat, I don't think Shotty got the ability to be. You can't be cocky,
right?
But who does he remind you of though? Who does he remind you of? I talked about it. I was like, man, when I was making the 14-3 reference or whatever, he reminds me of Wade Phillips when he came in after Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was accomplished. He had things he wanted to do a certain way. Kind of like McCarthy, and now Shotty coming in, fun loving. We're gonna be shooting free throws and all that type of stuff. So, he
got a cheat code though.
So he reminds me of a coach, DMV, after Parcells, but it's not Wade.
You better not say Dave Campo. Well, that was before.
It feels.
Are you gonna say Garrett? You might say Garrett.
Garrett is. It feels.
I need him to have a little bit more swag than Garrett because
I think he's just I think he's more of a modern day version of it. You know what I'm saying? He got tattoos on his forearm. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of an upgrade. It's a little bit more swagger, but
it's a little bit of both.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna be controversial
because he's the son of a coach too. Remember,
Garrett wasn't horrible, y'all. Garrett just was missing that little something that can get his team motivated.
Yeah.
Garrett, I heard, had hard practices. I heard that he was detail oriented. I heard he loved physicality. Like Garrett, he had the right things, but he didn't have that. It's game day. I need to have y'all locked. He didn't have a motivational thing. I don't know if Shotty got it. I can't give it to him until he do it.
Right.
But Garrett, like when it was big games, Mike Tomlin will carry a bad team over just on whatever he's saying in his pregame speech.
Right.
It worked.
Right.
And I think some of our coaches, if we haven't had that, if it's either got to be a player like a Ray Lewis or your coach, somebody got to give you that, yo, this is a big game. Let's get to it. And it can't be Dak. We've talked about that. That's got to be out.
Right. And see where I think the difference will be between Garrett and Shotty, right? They kind of have those same traits, but Shotty is smart enough to know I have a dog in Micah Parsons. I can unleash that, right? Versus you heard the stories, and if y'all ever want to set Des, salute to my dog Des. You ever want to set Des off? Right, bro, if you missing Jason Garrett, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it.
I can't say he lived it. I can't say nothing to that man.
Bro need to go to counseling about Garrett, bro.
Bro, we've literally been like just vibing on some other stuff, and something about Jason Garrett, and it sets Dez off because Jason Garrett did not know how to channel that type of player in Dez Bryant. Right?
He also allowed too many clicks.
Right.
I think Shotty trying to break up clicks. That's why he moved them locker rooms around.
Exactly. And so I feel like what Shotty's also going to do is, like he said yesterday, he went to dinner with Micah Parsons yesterday. So he knows that I don't have to be the rah, get everybody. I have the players in house to do that right now, but I can't alienate him, because I got to let Micah lead his way. So by embracing Micah, putting his locker next to Dak Prescott and saying, okay, this is your team too.
We felt it too. Situations. But hey, Tuck, we felt it too, because there was a time where I might have asked you, and I might be giving away too much, but I was just like, does it seem like the young folks don't really rock with Dak like that? And guess what? Shotty probably sensed that too.
It's a smart move.
He didn't put the young person captain in there with, you know what I'm saying, with the old guy in the locker room now. So
I think
smart move.
I think that you don't handpick your leaders, but you can give somebody more responsibility. I think Shotty had a lot to do with who was on that stream. And I think that tapping Osa, like, hey, you get in the bag now. You can't just weight lift and be big. You got to do more.
But
I like Osa, that though. Get him out there.
That's a big as hell,
Osa don't win nothing, bro. Like, he even called Osa out for losing the free throw challenge. Like, damn, Osa.
I like how he hated it a little bit. He's like, I ain't gonna say no names,
Osa.
Right. So that kind of gets in perfect segue, because I was talking about this on Twitter, right? And this is before I saw the interviews, because what I was trying to caution Cowboys Nation with is that we throw this word culture around. It's kind of like dog, right? It's like dog and culture, right? Culture. And I felt like where I was kind of being like, okay, we wasn't getting any specifics when it comes to changing the culture. Like, we want to change the culture. We'll change it from what to this, right? So what are we changing from year to year? And I posted on Twitter, and a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, maybe got a ripple effect, because Jane Slater asked Dak Prescott the question, and also our guy Clarence Hill asked the question. So this was Dak Prescott's response to changing the culture.
Not to be a devil's advocate.
Really?
Clarence.
You guys have had good culture, good brotherhood. Jason Garrett talked about the right kind of guy and having captains. So this talk of chemistry and culture has been around here. You guys have said you've had good culture and you've had good brotherhood. Why would it be different this year? Why you said that's going to help us win? Why would it be different this year than in past years?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, the approach of how we're building it. I think a lot of times, may in the past, I've said it, and I've maybe just been talking, and not just talking, or naive in a sense of talking about how great just the offenses was, right? And not necessarily the team, and not necessarily offense connecting with defense, connecting with special teams. So I believe that Shotty's doing it the right way from the top down of take the offense and defense away from it, take the positions away from it, take the coach and player aspect away from it, and let's connect. And you're talking to one of the most optimistic people I think you'll find. I've seen it the way that it's going. I see the way that people are buying into it, and it's hard for me to think anything different.
We've talked about this before. Sometimes.
Nah, I didn't hear that quote.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Okay. Yeah.
You about to
I'm loving this energy.
Where my
so
Kool-Aid
much,
at?
I gotta put the glass.
Where my Kool-Aid at?
You get your Kool-Aid cup. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't have played that, Tuck.
All right, Rose. So all right, bro. It's a good question. So when you hear that, what's your thoughts?
Listen, I think Dak just told on himself, and I like transparency. I like Dak saying, like, listen, I used to be too focused on offense, and he basically just said I wasn't trying to connect with the defense. I respected them as my teammates, but I was focused on quarterback play and offense. And he said that Shotty is stripping away offensive positions, and I guess I don't know if just titles, like captains would probably be captains, but I do like hearing them just say, like, look, we're trying to connect, because if you connect with your brother next to you, you'll fight harder for him rather than y'all just independent contractors. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not trying. I know this ain't Remember the Titans or Little Giants, but I'm just saying, to hear him say, it's the thing about him admitting, like, yeah, I wasn't focused on the defense. And I'm like, what you mean you weren't focused on your teammates? You know what I'm saying? That's good to hear.
So yeah, and so that's what I kind of got excited. Okay, that's what I've been trying to like get from the media. Like, somebody please ask this damn question, because y'all, you know what I'm saying? So when Dak said that, it's like, okay, that's when my light bulb clicked off. Is because when you watch the Dallas Cowboys just pass under Mike McCarthy, let's say Dan Quinn, you always felt like it was defense over here, high flying, interceptions, J-Ron Curse, dog, Micah Parsons, this and that. And then you had the offense over here. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much had the white Air Forces and the black Air Forces completely separate, right? And I feel like what Shotty is saying, if we're going to wear black Air Forces, offense going to put these shits on too. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no fake brotherhood though. Look, we even had fake brotherhood on defense. D-Law and Mike ain't even like each other.
I mean, they were trying to fake it, but it was obvious.
No coaches, nobody, like teammates. Look, let me get these dudes. I hate them. Let me give them a little slight props. The Eagles had beef last year, but apparently they got in a room and was like, we gotta fight for the greater good. We ain't gotta be best friends.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? They got in this is what was reported. They got in a room and hashed things out so they can play together. Mike and D-Law apparently just couldn't wait to start getting at each other. The reason why I bring that up is just it's good to hear, like, yo, you know what, you're locking next to you over here, and all that you Dak, you holier than thou. We done with that.
Right.
I like that.
I love it, bro. I love it, bro.
Ahead,
like team dynamic is very important. Chemistry is very important. Synergy is very important to winning. And, I did a video on it. I think it was yesterday talking about that. Like, I don't know if bro read some self-help books, went to some kumbaya camps or whatever to really be able to do this. I also wonder this too. And I have to ask this question. Was he trying to tell Mike McCarthy this last year and this was just on blind ears? And you just say,
of course, Mike is cocky.
Yeah. And I wonder if this is what his pitch was to the front office, and this is why things have shifted the way that they are, and this is why they felt like he's the right man.
It said Shotty kept this shit to himself. You know what
I'm saying? Can I say something? I think that's kind of funny. I think I'm not trying to hate on Mike. I know it's real easy to hate on the coach that left. I just think that Mike, like you said earlier, Tuck, Mike a Super Bowl champion, and he got his own like pelts on the wall. So he like, yo, I know what I'm doing. And there's a lot of ego in that room, right? I think Shotty has been patient, waiting his turn to get a head coaching opportunity. And he had his dad in his ear. He had apparently Pete Carroll in his ear. Apparently he got a lot of head coaches that has been grooming this man. And he been probably taking a little bit from every head coach he was under.
Right.
Seeing what didn't work. And like it ain't nothing like watching what the dude did in front of you fail. He watched Mike fail all last year. Like, I ain't gonna do that.
Well, think about this simple nugget, y'all. He got to see the Legion of Boom, right? And what happened to Legion of Boom? How did that empire fall? Is because the defense became the identity and the offense was over here completely different. Russ had his own VIP parking, his own, own access.
That's a great point.
He was alienated. So Shotty said, oh, no. We're not going to have our quarterback over here as the golden boy, and then everybody else is grimy. I'm going to toss you right and put your locker right next to Micah, and y'all both get to speak, right? So that way you get the old opinion that maybe say, okay, let's not do it that way, but Micah can also have some impact as well.
You got to uplift Micah. It's his time.
Because think about it last year, y'all. It was probably D-Law doing all the talking, Zach Martin doing all the talking. You probably had Dak doing all the corporate talking. And when CD and Micah or, say, any of the younger guys try to speak up, it was like, that's not how we do things in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So now you kind of get a mixture of the old Unk and Dak Prescott, but you also get that new young energy as well.
They call him Unk now too. That's funny.
They call him Unk.
We're also not talking about the experience that this kind of feels like with this team and building culture. Kind of feels like Rex Ryan too, because he was up under Rex Ryan when they had that Jets team right too. So yeah, it kind of feels like that because that team had a lot of swag. They had an attitude. A type of physicality. We talk about physicality. That was probably one of the more physical teams. They used to punk the Patriots actually. So I think he took some from Rex as well.
I think though. You can't fake that. You can't fake that, right? It has to be really you. You know what I'm saying? You can't fake toughness, being a tough coach, right? And you know, sweat, like it has to come natural, you know what I'm saying? So that's not you, Shotty. Don't, because it'll look fake, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like because a lot of people want to compare Shotty to Nick Sirianni, right? Nick Sirianni, what people don't understand, one is when he first got there, people forget he was a punching bag. Y'all forget how he was dog walked the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he had instant success that we see today, but also what Nick Sirianni did is he embraced Philadelphia culture, you know what I'm saying? So that's when he got this pompous, arrogant
that's what Shotty's stealing from him, though.
Because that's what the city likes, right? So when it comes to Shotty, you have to find out, okay, who do you want to be? What do you want the identity of this team to be? And then really build it in your presence, in your image. You can't try to recreate what Pete Carroll did or what Rex Ryan did, because that's just not you. Do it the Schottenheimer way. Because I'm keeping a buck with you, Shotty. You're on a 4-year deal. It's now or never. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I think, ain't no 4 years, bro. You
got
right.
I think the motivation, there's two types of motivation. There's rah-rah guy, and I know what that's about because I give a good rah-rah speech. There's rah-rah guy, and then there's believe in philosophy guy, I feel like. I really feel like Shotty got a little bit of Dan Quinn in him. As far as I don't really never see, maybe I missed it. I don't see Dan Quinn giving like the super fiery speeches. I just think Dan Quinn got his players loving him so much.
Yeah,
that's why they rock with him. I see that with Shotty. They rocking with him,
right?
Like a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they might have when he first started, it's probably like, man, we ain't even really like. They probably thought like we did. They just took any coach. But Shotty got like a way with words. Like he looked like he'd get around you and be like, "So you gonna act like that?"
No, Shotty is hella cool. Shotty's the type of coach, he might mess around and come on cover 3. You know what I'm saying? Like he could probably, you know what I'm saying? And I remember,
bro, he got the real.
You gotta welcome him, Tuck. You gotta welcome him.
You know what I'm saying? It's just Shotty. But I remember when I met Shotty when he first got to Dallas as the OC, and when I was at camp covering camp, right? And even the energy from him just being the OC was different. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, he was correcting it, do it again. And I remember, I think I did this on Boss's show, right? CeeDee Lamb ran a route and it was off, right? It's off kilter and he cut too early.
I remember
and
that.
Shotty stopped the play and was like, no, do it again. But he didn't like scream and yell. It was like, okay, you have to bang it at 5 or whatever the play was.
Cut it back though. You think Mike doing that?
Well, I mean, Mike was there, but I mean, Mike was too busy.
That's my biggest problem though, because Mike had to, as a walk around coach, you should have your hands in more stuff. I don't need, Shotty mentioned Devin Street earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, first of all, what? Like he know
everybody, dog.
Right.
And I don't even think Mike knew everybody
too.
Right. I don't think Mike knew everybody. And I think some of that, like I said, I'm not trying to fault Mike. When you're a champion and you feel like you that dude, sometimes you get a little full of yourself. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? I think our front office been full of themselves for years. So I think Shotty being, like you said, he know the opportunity he got. The coach of the Dallas Cowboys, he's like, yo, if I do this right, I could become a legend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, he didn't have to coach in Cleveland. Like you get the biggest opportunity at your first opportunity, bro. And you know, there's somebody that's foaming at the mouth. He's right here on my wall right here, and Jason Witten. Slip up.
Cannot wait.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you get this golden opportunity, and I think you're 1,000% right, Ron, when it comes to Shotty. He's not going to be the motivator, but I even say this when it comes to Mike Tomlin, right? I don't think Mike Tomlin is the most incredible X's and O's guy. But I can guarantee you, if you speak or meet Mike Tomlin, you are ready to go to war for him. It's the same thing with Coach.
It's the way he talk, bro. I be hyped when I listen to
the way he talks.
Yeah, no bull, bro. No bull.
It's the same thing with Coach Prime. With Coach Prime, bro. When I remember when I got to interview Coach Prime at the press conference, we played Coach Colorado here in Kansas. I was like, yes, sir. No, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just that type of feel. So I feel like Shotty's going to have that type of impact when it comes to our players. Now, will you be able to outcoach Andy Reid and shit? We'll have to sit back and wait and see. But I think that what we will see, I can pretty much guarantee y'all when it comes to Schottenheimer that these players will give 110% for him. I don't see they're going to quit on him.
I just got to see how if we come out flat, Tuck.
Yeah,
it's so many.
It's all going to be answered in week 1 or
come out flat.
17 through 18.
That Saints game, what happened? Like
they started feeling themselves. Because what happened? We bounced back. Dak just got signed. We blow out the Cleveland Browns, So in their minds,
we beat Philly, it's gonna be
in their minds, whatever happened in Green Bay, that was just a mishap. It was just an off day. You know what I'm saying? And they get comfortable. And that's the one thing I really want when it comes to a coach of the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's Schotty, whoever. I need a coach that's going to tell them week after week, y'all not shit. Shit. Because here is the token Dallas Cowboys thing to handle their season, right? We go to Philadelphia
and win
on the road, opening night, beat Philly. We all crazy. We on Twitter. We talking. We this, and then we come out in the home game at noon, feeling ourselves. And Cam Scatterbo rushes for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns in Dallas, and we lose to the Giants. Right? We need a coach that's going to hold this team accountable week after week after week after week, and hopefully it'll be Schotty to do that. But also, it's time for the players to do that as well.
Well, you know that starts.
Y'all gonna have to hold me accountable because
we back. You know what I'm saying? I believe in Schotty. See, I told y'all we you know what I'm saying? Bang bang. You know what I'm saying? Eagles trash. And then we'll be sitting there. We'll be sitting there at noon, and Cam Scatterbo making us delete all our tweets. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, if we give up 150 yards to Cankles, dog, like I don't know what to tell y'all. Like,
you know what I'm saying? He's
gonna be on the Madden cover. If he put 150 on some week 2, he's gonna be on the Madden cover the next year.
This
like
the most dangerous thing, Tuck. We start the season 6-2. It's not that you don't want to start the season that good. It's like you're right. If we do not focus during that run, if we make that run, for everybody getting mad at me, if we make a run like that, you're right. We'll get to that gauntlet, and we already know where it starts, and we'll all get humbled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we've learned our lesson. So you made an excellent point, bro.
Yeah. And Dak said that in that interview. He said that the key is because they were asking like, "Oh, Dak, about the music change and at practice different." Dak was like, "All that stuff doesn't matter. The thing was we got to stay hungry." Right. And I know we always come out with cute little t-shirts and, Viva La Vie or what was it? Carpe Diem and all that shit. Right. Stay hungry. I think that's
like for real hungry, not t-shirt hungry. You're right.
That's Micah's slogan, bro. So might let the team borrow it. Right. It's stay hungry because I feel like the Cowboys and the cool thing about it, y'all, this schedule, which we'll talk about here in a second, it won't even allow us to kind of start feeling ourselves because we got killers at you know what I'm saying? You got so many killers lined up. You can't kind of get in that momentum where you can.
I don't know how they can't be hungry, Tuck. This is the team of humbled people. Dak got humbled last year, and he old. They call him Unc now. That do something to an alpha male. You Unc now, right?
Right.
Micah got humbled because remember he tried to pull the team up by the bootstraps, and we ain't quite get it done. Now, I know he hated that. I seen it in his face that, that game he walked off the field. You know what I'm saying? You got to just realize CD got humbled to where he's like, yo, I can't do this by myself. I'm not saying like humbled to where these aren't still great players. It's just like last year was a lot of humility. All those injuries and everything like that.
Yeah, Trey got humbled. Trey got humbled too.
Ron Bland,
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would be surprised if they don't keep that hunger for a while, just because it's like, yo, man, at the end of the day, bro, we joke about, we America's team. Can't nobody replace us. Can't nobody take our name. But the NFL acting like we not even important no more on the low. So it's good, though. I like it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go back and earn that.
Hey. And like I said, we are only favored in one game.
Good.
That's the Giants. And that's barely. You know what I'm saying? And that's one game, right? So this is what I'm saying. This is that golden opportunity, y'all. If it's going to happen this year, I've been trying to tell my audience, be patient when it comes to Schotty. You know what I'm saying? Let him build it. Don't jump out the window. You know what I'm saying? If we 1-3 or something like that, right? Let him really build this. But the thing I'll say is we have nothing to lose. And it's crazy to say that as a Cowboys fan. We have nothing to lose, bro.
Facts. And like, you know Vegas, what? That makes me think.
Listen, I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do with y'all money. Vegas has us winning under 7 games.
Tuck ready.
Under 7?
Little bet vice.
7.
Yeah. You gotta make that bet. You gotta make that bet. We'll win over 7.
So 8. It's under 8. So it's 8 games now. So the odds are set at 7.5 to win games.
Oh, we'll win that. We'll win that. I'm about to. Yeah, I'm going to the bank with that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if Dak is healthy, we getting 8 from somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tuck, I know you got this clip, but there was somebody else that was humbled, that has been humbled the last couple of days. Jalen Tolbert got it the worst, bro. Bro thought that he was gonna be really number 2, and all week it's been GP this, GP that, and they had the nerve to interview him today. How do you feel about that?
It's you know what I'm saying, because I get kind of corny at the Tolbert guy, right? But we kind of knew that Tolbert wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? Tolbert wasn't going to be enough to carry what we need as a wide receiver 2. I think he's a good rotational guy. He's a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. And I know that Tolbert gets a lot of hate, but at the end of the day, Tolbert's done everything that's been asked of him. Like, he wasn't a first round pick. He was a 3rd round pick from South Alabama who started playing football when he was 17 years old. So it wasn't that we ever expected Tolbert to set the league on fire, but I'm relieved, right? Because Sata DLS, I did the video yesterday, right, when they interviewed Will McClay. Will McClay said they knew that they needed to improve the wide receiver room. When I was trying to get after the draft, I was like, man, they cannot roll Dak out here with this shit. I mean,
I think Dak told him that I ain't rolling out with this, bro. That's why Dak was the first call when they made that trade.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that happened. But
let me just say this though. And it is what it is. Look, man, all love to Jalen Tolbert, but you've been here for some years, bro. This is the NFL. You might get one play,
right,
to show your thing. I always tell this story on my channel. Dak Prescott wasn't even supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to bring in. They was gonna roll with Jamil Showers at one point,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They tried to roll with Kellen Moore. He got hurt. They was trying to work out other veteran quarterbacks. He got his chance. And he ain't let it go.
Yeah.
That's why I'll be being hard on Hunter Lipke. Bro, you had a chance to change things for your career trajectory. You can't fumble that ball. I don't care where Dak handed it to you in that Miami game.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right.
So,
right.
Jalen Tolbert, you've been on the field way too much for me to be like, I feel sorry for you. No, you've had your chance. And this is your last chance because you're not off the field completely. There's the 3 primary positions on any football team. You got 3 wide receivers. You now bump down to 3. You want to shut us up? Because I'll praise you if you go out there and ball.
Don't get mad. Make
outplay
plays.
Mingo, outplay Turpin, outplay Flournoy, outplay all of them, and become the legitimate wide receiver 3. I will praise you. But no one's going to hold your hand, bro. This is the NFL.
Facts. He's a grown man that are getting paid to play football. We can't baby him. We cannot baby him.
We do that too much in Dallas. I'm tired of baby.
We got 2 walk-ons with number 1 and number 2. That's part of it too. Don't baby that either.
Right. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Look, I'm being real. I heard a couple of small rumblings that is coming, y'all, of Joe Milton arm looking kind of crazy. We can't baby Dak neither. I hope Milton.
That's why he unk. That's why he unk now.
Joe Milton go crazy the young boy off season. Just so Dak cannot. You need to have a couple nights where you like, shit.
And Shotty said that, right? He said that's what Milton's here for, right? That's what is for competition to make you better, right? And I feel like that's something that Dallas really doesn't do that other teams do. We make a lot of players safe.
Yeah, buddy.
Bring in a left tackle because we just spent the 1st round pick on top. So what the Chiefs did, they drafted a left tackle last year, turned around and got another one. Well, what about Kingsley Samateo? Who cares? We got Josh Simmons. He better figure it out.
3 players that's safe on the Cowboys: Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler.
Dak Prescott.
Dak is safe, but I'm talking about like he can't hide because the media and the haters are going right. Them 3 players get like a pass. Nobody really hate on CeeDee. Nobody really hate on Micah. Nobody really hate on Tyler Smith. Everybody else is fair game.
They do hate him.
And the kicker. And the kicker for now.
I love like I said this on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it as we get gear up for it. Dak, maybe not even Dak, but I can't risk it. CeeDee, Micah, Tyler Smith. Those are the only ones I need to see on the sidelines with their gold chains on eating sunflower seeds.
I want Dak to play in the preseason, but ain't nobody gonna.
I just want a series.
Yeah. Maybe a series or two, but I'm not talking.
I'll give Shotty props if he can pull that off.
Yeah.
I think it needs to happen, bro.
Let's get these super chats real quick.
I ain't trying to hear it. If Pat can play,
super chats real quick, y'all.
Facts, bro. Pat can play. Dak can play.
Dak can play.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We got a super chat from Darnell Lamar. Said, "What's good, fellas? Cover 3, ready for his OTA's coverage. Appreciate you, dog." Maximili, $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Wish you take off that 13. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's on reserve. Somebody's gonna have to come up off that one.
He got to pay Marquise.
Marquise Bell said he's not coming off it. He said he can't pay him to come off. I guess that's his number.
Oh, Marquise ain't coming off it?
No, he said it on because Marquise Bell, I mean, Cowboys fans don't hate him. He got a Twitch channel where he's gaming, and they asked him that.
We got too many walk-ons. They got too many privileges here, bro.
Hold on, Marquise. You say that till you get that bag that Ashton Genty dropped.
Right, 100K. 100K, you can have it. I go back to 13.
I changed my name.
Right. Yeah, you need to take that 13 off. You know what I'm saying? And here's, if I'm Jerry, I'm making an executive decision because I gotta sell these shits too. Because if he get Pickens that one, it's bought.
Jerry might drop the bag. Jerry might drop
it. I'm getting.
Hey, yo, look, he take one off.
See, with Tober though, he had Post Malone wearing his jersey. Man, Tober feeling privileged right now.
Bro, don't get mad. Make plays. Somebody put that on the shirt. Really? Don't get mad. Make plays.
Yeah. DT $5 super chat. Been waiting for y'all to chop it together about this offseason. Keep up the hard work. 3 of you brothers. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, man. It's been a minute, but you've been busy. My dog Nick's with the super chat. Says my concern is Cowboys are going to 1-year bridge Pickens to get to Mingo next year. To an extent, really wish they extend George Pickens after trade. If they do that, Knicks, I'm gonna be sick.
They silly.
They're gonna sign GP, dog. They're gonna.
This is the thing I heard yesterday. And when this dude speak, he be hearing rumblings. Yo, I think Deron Bland might be. Deron Bland or it's the money that's going to go to Pickens is Bland, or they're going to come up off of Diggs.
Right.
That's where they're going to find their
Pickens. That's why we got Rebel the way that we did too.
Right.
So if even Bland ain't going to get paid, or we going to get up off of Diggs, but one of them cornerbacks, that's George's money.
Right. That was imperative that we got a corner this year. That's really the reason we needed to get one for sure.
I mean, and honestly, we can turn around. I mean, not to.
There's no way George balls out and Jerry's like, let's just let him walk. Ain't no way.
No, hell no. Because Jerry loves offense, right? Plus, we made a trade to go get him, and then 2, CD and the team is around. And if he goes crazy, it's written in stone. The only way it won't work is if he does become a head case where it's just like, okay, we can't handle this shit. But
his agent let him know, you just landed in the perfect spot. Do not mess this up for us.
And you can even
ultimately we gave up more for
questions. His questions are short and sweet.
We also gave up more for Pickens
being
too.
In Dallas versus Pittsburgh. I like them both. It's just it's a bigger city. That's it. Don't give them nothing, bro.
Nah, but I think Pickens, you see how we hype now. Pickens is going to be willing, like, when you get here and you start really seeing what you can do, Pickens catch one touchdown, bro.
Right.
One touchdown.
The
stadium going to lose their mind.
Yeah. Right. Wait till Dak figure out that he can kind of throw the ball damn near anywhere.
Well, Dak said that today, too. He said, he's good at winning one-on-ones. He's also winning at 2-on-1s. 2-on-1s?
Hey, Dak, relax.
That was the Brett Favre shit.
You throw a couple pictures, I'll be mad as hell. Relax.
It said Robert said DJ Reader will put the icing on the cake. Yeah, one tech. We'll talk about that here in a second.
I might come here crying.
Katharina, I believe we will sweep the trash birds. Appreciate the $10 super chat.
The way the schedule is lined up, we possibly could, because we got them early. They normally don't hit the ground running until about mid-season. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm calling sweep because they can't see us in Dallas.
They're gonna be on go for us. Josiah, the super chat says when does training camp start? It starts in July, probably around the 15th of July or so.
No, I think it's
your time
in the 20th, but we gonna get there. Josiah, appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, and then what's y'all timeline for Mozzie to get right? Today. You know what I'm saying? For me, you gotta get right today. Once again, we can't baby Mozzie. You know what I'm saying?
That's why a reader. See, they've done it. Stephen Jones said it. He said we brought running mates in here, but basically we brought competition in here.
Right.
Y'all got if they bring one in. Oh, what's up, my dog Lou?
Lou.
It's still our team on weapons.
Hey.
Y'all hear Steven talk about weapons today? Use the term weapons.
Yeah, they've been using weapons a lot.
Steven, I think Steven got the Kool-Aid bug, bro. He ain't never get this much love out in public. He was giggling in that stream.
Yeah. I see what I got in this bottle. I got this Kool-Aid.
But if we get Reader, I'm trying not to marry one name, but we get a legitimate defensive tackle, like a grown man. That's one of the last good wake-up calls, I think, for this team. That and we want a running back. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even think Gilly would be we bring Gilly in. I don't even think that would be like a competition.
Yeah, that don't move the needle. That don't move the needle.
Though.
Yeah.
That would be insurance. I think Reader would make Mozzie be like, oh snap.
I think it's gonna be a lot. I think it's a lot to make Mozzie got to move like oh snap. You know what I'm saying? But
take Reader, bro. If Detroit need to go ahead and cut him. Stop playing.
We got super chat come in, man, from Randy. Appreciate you, my guy. $20 super chat says, I think this will be a special season, but as Boss Cowboy says, we need the shoes, nose tackle, that and maybe Gilly. I'm a Gamecock guy, so I love having him and Izzy as our former running back. Rico, love the work you guys put in. Appreciate the super chat, bro.
And y'all throw some fire emojis in there. When somebody dropped 20, that's my rule.
Yeah, fire, man. Light it up, man. Light it up, man. We appreciate that, man. Appreciate the support. Y'all rocking with us, man. We got over 1,100 people watching right now.
Hey, I appreciate everybody saying that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it goes unnoticed when y'all say, I'm glad y'all, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to hear what y'all wanted to say. Like when they say it specifically, I wanted to hear what y'all thought about things. I appreciate that for real.
Right. Yeah,
there's a lot of content out here.
We've been talking about it. Just made our group chat. You know what I'm saying? We did about 30 live shows. Just all in our group chat.
all the text
messages. We got voice notes. We got draft recap voice notes. You know what I'm saying? We got enough voice notes. We probably get to drop like a podcast. You know what I'm saying? A few different episodes, man. But we appreciate you.
Like put like this. Everything ain't for the stream.
Right.
Be some grown man, and I ain't talking about nothing crazy like that. I'm just saying, y'all don't enjoy some of them grown talks. It's some grown, put like this. Yeah. We touched on the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. We're gonna leave right there. So we be talking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Don't go crazy in the chat neither.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and now everything. Facts. So yeah, but like I said, overall, y'all, I think there can be a cultural shift. It just can't be fake culture. You know what I'm saying? It has to be real. It has to be authentic, and we have to let it take time. I think sometimes people are forcing oh man, you see Shotty, he got a cup in his hand. I told you the culture changing. Bro, you don't think Mike used to pull up too? You know what I'm saying? Mike.
I was hyped though. You know what I'm saying? Name this drink. I'm easily persuaded.
But even Stephen Jones had a cup in his hand. You know what I'm saying? But it's I get it, but it is a time for being excited. I said this on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? It's okay for us to be excited. I posted this in the group chat, right? There's a bunch of Saints fans going crazy about Kellen Moore interviews.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for everyone. The slate is wiped clean, 0-0, new coaching staff, new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, new draft class, new free agent acquisitions. It's just a new car smell, so we deserve to be excited. Like Andy just said, it's kind of refreshing. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
You're right, bro.
We've all pulled off the lot in our brand new car. You remember, kids can't eat in our car, no shoes on, all sorts of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, kids got fries in the back. They got mud on the back of your seats. You know what I'm saying? Dog hair all over it. You know what I'm saying? But we haven't gotten to that point right now. We in the brand new whip. You know what I'm saying? Washing your car 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying?
Let me empathize with everybody though. Let me, because I can tell y'all why I be so easily persuaded. And me and Tuck literally talked about this in DMV earlier, bro. It's been so we highlight this because we try to be real as possible. It's been 17 months, 16 months since that Packers game,
right,
bro?
It hurt so bad, bro.
It hurt so bad. Broke the fan base,
bro.
We already a broken fan base, but the negativity rose to the top for the first time in a long time. It was that, then Jerry and the stupid all-in thing. I don't care how you interpreted it. It was a bad time to say that. Don't say that. We signed one player then half our team got hurt, no pun intended. Like all the DNs, all the corners, Dak Prescott. We lost all those games. We had Mike on a 1-year deal. We had Dan Quinn leave the way he left. And then we had to watch him go to the NFC Championship. You talking about like just bad thing after
that probably
bad thing?
That was probably it, bro. That probably broke the back right there.
On top of that, you sprinkle, the Eagles won the championship.
Right.
We just been in a downward spiral. So you get a little, George Pickens is a saltine and we've been starving. They slid us that saltine. That bad boy tastes like a filet.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
I still ain't came down from my George Pickens high, bro. You know
that's my point. You shouldn't be this hype. When the last time we got something to get hype about? So Shotty come out and just be like, yo, it's sunny outside.
That's why you gotta get him up off that 13, bro. They gotta get him in 1 or 14, dog. So everybody can buy that damn jersey and have it ready.
You can't have him scoring touchdowns.
He knows 13 no hit, right? That's why he said, I mean, I don't know if I'm keeping this.
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I got two. I gotta get Pickens out of 13, and I gotta get my dog Luther Burden out of 87. Dog, I gotta get Luther Burden out of 87. That's a side mission.
you and your GTA, get out your side mission.
87 hurts my feelings, bro.
Yeah, bro. I got Luther Burden out there, the tight end number.
Yo, his answer, he said, "Man, there wasn't no other numbers. What you want me to do?" Hey, Tuck, you got the power to I ain't trying to like how you do this on the fly. Because I know we already been here for an hour. You got the power to pull up like a Twitter?
Yeah.
Can you pull up and I know this is his notes, this ain't our eyeballs.
Yeah. For
can you pull up Nick Harris's notes? I think he got the most detailed notes.
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
I think Yar's got it's a bunch of people out there we all follow that got notes. But Nick Harris got some good little nuggets. And I wanted to just kind of breeze through those one particular because I know we didn't get a chance to cover specific OTAs, and y'all know they out there catching footballs and fake tackling. But
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it's a couple of people that stood out to me that I was happy about.
So it's gonna pull it up anyway. So let me bang. See here.
Y'all want to hear a fun nugget about why Tuck is doing this about streaming? Y'all know Twitter get wild. You can't just be pulling Twitter up. You got.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Hey, you can't just pull up a Twitter screen. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
why the stream end? I just had to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have me out here looking crazy. Like Twitter. You don't even
so,
ask
yeah,
for it. It'd be like,
I was kind of thinking that.
Hold on.
Twitter is crazy.
You don't even ask
bro.
for it. You be chilling and be like, "Was that a murder?" I was trying to. What was happening?
Right. Wow. So man, Roman GMV then was showing people getting killed on stream.
Yo,
you know,
gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
All right. So boom. So Nick Harris is salute to Nick Harris, my dog, man. Does incredible work. If you haven't already, definitely give Nick a follow. So some of his notes, right? Takeaways from OTAs. George Pickens
hauling the second bullet that got me hyped.
Yeah, hauling a pair of receptions on a quick slant and a comeback alongside the sideline. So quick slants will be his game. So he's gonna be hey, bro. Twitter be I don't know. I don't know how Elon get away with it, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like no rules.
No, the craziest thing, right? So I know I cover the Kansas Jayhawks. When I'm in the media room and I try to pull up Twitter to type notes, bro, it's like that's why I had to find an alternate app because I can't pull it up in the media room. They gonna think I'm some kind of creepo with all this stuff. People be
and you don't even gotta be following nothing.
No, it just
you gotta make sure you go hit not interested or it's gonna come through.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? I got some fans think I'm stuff. Yeah, I think this was an interesting nugget, right?
That's the one.
DB Wanye played at safety and in the slot. So, I mean, is Wanye a slot corner? No, but he's probably one of our best covered safeties. So you probably could see them utilize some of that versatility.
I thought Izzy might be playing a little bit of that too. We're gonna see how this progresses.
Yeah. And I really hope this is the year for Izzy, man, because I just like it's either
it's now or
find
never.
a way to use him or move on from him. To be honest with you, when it comes to Izzy.
It's now or never, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And Izzy got the perfect. If we don't bring in Gilmore, this is your perfect time. This early games. Show up.
Right. Show up and show out. Linebacker group was flying around Shamar James. So I mentioned Shamar James, right? Flying around. Buddy Johnson interception, solid coverage from others.
About that because of
now, thank God See, my guy Nick Harris is so savvy. He didn't say who the interception was from because you know what I'm saying, man, the mice would come out. You know what I'm saying? So just you know what I'm saying. But Buddy Johnson got an interception. Yeah. Because I was like, I ain't got the time for that. But like I said, y'all, I really like Shamar James. Is he instant starter? No, but there's going to be some play, especially in preseason, where you're going to see him turn up. You know
That's a sneaky good pickup because we wanted linebacker or something. I wanted it earlier in the draft at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know you was looking at Demetrius Knight. I remember you was highlighting him. So
right. Yep. And then Jake Ferguson looks like he's added on some good weight. So you know what I'm saying? Jake Ferguson's engaged. He's probably blocking good.
They told him he's gonna be blocking.
I don't know how I feel about that, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I gotta see the weight, you know what I'm saying? But this is a year, y'all, where I know a lot of people. Yeah, you can't baby Jake Ferguson, and it goes right into the next tweet.
The
Brevin Spanford was unstoppable today. Multiple receptions, including one where he separated downfield.
Incredibly high ceiling. Incredibly high ceiling.
I like that.
Well, last year too.
I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, new regime. So
hey, Ferg, you better be on yourself and you don't get paid.
Right.
Schoon.
Devontae Turpin took some quick routes and made them into big gains. So I really think that Shotty's going to find a way to utilize Devontae Turpin, especially after they signed him back. So I think that if I had to gauge it, for me personally, from a schematic standpoint, I have Turpin as wide receiver 3, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's rotating.
Hey, did you see that picture today where it was Pickens, CD, and then looked like Dak was celebrating? Turpin was in that picture.
Was he?
Yep.
Was he? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Boom.
So take that mental note, everybody. When you go back, you see little ass Turpin.
Just think about the attention you put on George Pickens, CD Lamb, of course. You trying to keep up with Ferg in the scene, and you find a way to sneak Devontae Turpin out there on anything.
Right.
That's dangerous because you get him out in open space. You know he can make some things happen.
And with Jaden Blue too, that's a lot of
that's what I'm telling everybody with Jaden Blue and Devontae Turpin in the backfield. When you catch me on Madden, that's what you're gonna get from me. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna get from me. So you better get prepared for it. So yeah, and listen, y'all. If I see there's people beefing in the chat, y'all know my model. If it's on my channel, snipe their ass and get them up out of here. You know? I don't know. Somebody.
Hey, y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we do. Jazzy Jeff them. Get them out the club.
You know what I'm saying? They about to pull up on each other, the group chat, you know what I'm saying? Or the chat.
Get them out the club.
Yeah, get them out the club.
Get too close to our section. Get them out the club.
Yeah. Which one y'all got the soundboard for the wow, 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 wow?
Hey, DJ, stop the music. Hey, y'all stop all that fighting.
Like, bang, bang, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Get them out the club.
I hit that purge button, my mods start hitting, you know what I'm saying? All right. So yes, Devontae Turpin. I felt like every time I looked up, Jalen Cropper was making a reception.
I hate it.
Hey, that's cool,
I hated on it. I saw that name Jalen. I hated it instantly. That's just
oh my God, bro.
Down.
Boy, Chuck, you've been a Moreno Cropper for the longest.
Yeah, man. I mean, because one of my subs, Salute to Mo, he actually coached Jalen Moreno, you know, before he went to Fresno. So we were very familiar with him. Hell, what draft was that? You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it'd been a long ass time. But I like Jalen Moreno Cropper, but it's just like you're saying, bro, it's been 3 years at least.
But look at this though, Chuck. Of all the notes, it's Jalen Cropper. That should say Jalen Tolbert. That's why I ain't got no excuses for him.
But in fairness, Rome, these same notes when it's camp time, these are.
I'm about to say Jalen Cropper always killing camp. This ain't nothing new.
Jalen Cropper has killed camp since he's gotten there. But same as like Jalen Cropper had, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we'll see. Right. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see.
I feel like he copied and pasted that from last year.
Love the day from Kyer Elam on the outside. Had a couple of PBUs.
We need him to play good. We need him to play good.
So it's crazy, right? Salute to my dog Nix. You know what I'm saying? When Kyer Elam was coming out of the University of Florida, I love this kid. I remember when we played versus the Tampa Bay Bucks in the Dak return game. Florida played Saturday night, and they stayed at my hotel. And I went to Kyer Elam downstairs in the lobby and told him how much I loved his game, that he was going to be a Dallas Cowboy. Now, of course, you know, he went to Buffalo, really didn't pan out. But coming out of Florida, I loved Kyrie Elam. So if he can find who he was back then, because it's funny, right? You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Elam, that's how I kind of find Pickens, or not Pickens, but Pitts, you know what I'm saying? But I really like Kyrie Elam coming out of college. So if he can able to find what he had, it's there. I'm not sure really happened in Buffalo. I really didn't go dive deep into his film, and I heard there was kind of some rumblings, but I really did like Kyrie Elam. And then running backs were rotated quite a bit. Nothing really to take away from that group yet. So
I got an alley-oop for DMV.
Yeah, that's DMV,
the alley-oop video earlier
for DMV, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to that part, DMV, when it comes to the running back group. Go ahead and talk about it, because Shotty did it in his press conference today. If you guys haven't checked that out,
y'all gotta go watch that video.
Yeah, for sure. So to keep it short, definitely go watch the video. But
and if you're on DMV's channel, just go ahead and post the video in the chat, because it'll show up, I think.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I kind of took from it is I can't really gauge these guys off of shorts with running back. Like, we want to be a physical team, and we have to be able to see these guys in their physical element. So I really like that. I really like that aspect. And also too, you kind of, add the nugget where Steven says, well, we ain't done. We ain't never done. So right now, these guys have to be able to grasp the offense. And what he was saying is that the older guys who have been here a little bit longer are a little bit ahead of Phil and Jaden. But he also said with other positions too, that guys might be in with the ones now, but they might not stay there. So, I think the running back position, he talked about last year, how they started with a committee and then they found their formula with Rico last year. I don't think they're going to play around with it this year. I think we're going to have a full preseason of seeing what these running backs do. And hopefully we do that. I hope we don't mess it up again and give guys certain slots and they don't really earn it, and then we figure it out a little bit too late. I hope we figure it out by week 1.
I think Javonte Williams going to start this season.
Yeah, I think he's our day one starter. Do you think Javonte Williams, compare him, because I know running back's your thing, DMV, compare him to Rico? Would you say that he's a slight upgrade or a massive upgrade over Rico?
I think upgrade.
I think it's a slight upgrade in toughness. I think he's definitely tougher than Rico. Rico might have had, they're probably about the same with vision, or the thing that I kind of took from Javonte Williams when watching his tape is that he wasn't a big, bended guy in the zone. Now, obviously, we're probably going to do a lot more.
He fall forward better than Rico.
We create the holes and stuff for him. But, I mean, it remains to be seen. Like, they ran a lot of zone, and we watched them, and, I like how tough he is. I definitely like how tough he is. I just wonder why Denver didn't lean on him more. Those are some questions that I have.
And y'all, can I say?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I say something that people gonna get mad? Whatever, they get over it.
I was probably gonna say the same thing. Go ahead, you say it first.
You go look at a lot of great running backs. I know y'all think that once a running back's yards per carry go down, that it's just off a cliff. It's not necessarily the case. There's a year, if you go back, I was looking at Emmitt Smith's yards the other day, just because I wanted to just look at.
He went down to 3-something at one point.
He went down to 3.7 1 year in his prime, and then he came back because he Emmitt. And I'm not saying Javonte Williams is Emmitt. I'm saying that it is possible to have a dip in your yards per carry, and then especially coming off injury, and then after you get your legs back under you the next year, get back up to 4+ yards per carry, which I think is very possible behind this offensive line. That's it before everybody trip out.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say something slightly different, because I was like, when people want to kind of compare Javonte, I would kind of say it to mid-career guy that used to be in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like didn't have the burst the same. You can't say. I don't want to say his name.
Don't say the name, dog.
I say it. I know you're talking about now.
So like I didn't want to deal with the headache.
Nick Chubb without them getting mad now.
He kind of gives you that mid-career Ezekiel Elliott, not the one's going to, you know what I'm saying, kind of the one that was splitting carries with Tony Pollard type feel. You know what I'm saying?
And then that's perfect because we got somebody that can hopefully become
right. You mean the 2021 version of Zeke?
Yeah, the 2021 version. Right.
That was a G.
Right.
Javonte give me a G worth every dime.
I feel like he can get you a G. I feel like he can get you probably a G and 6, honestly.
Worth every dime.
I don't know because it remains to be seen. I got to see it.
True.
Hey, DMP, to your point though, I think because Broadus said this. Shout out to Brian Broadus. Because I know he be talking to them people in the building, and they are basically waiting for camp to start. They it's literally they want to see what these dudes look like, and if they don't look like nothing, they gonna pull the trigger. I wish they wouldn't wait because we hate that they want to wait, but they really just want to see what they look like once camp starts.
Yeah, and I think that we made a mistake last year in cutting Royce Freeman. I thought Royce Freeman put together a hell of a camp. I actually like Royce Freeman a little bit better than Javonte, to be honest. When we had him, he was getting about 5 a pop. He was running hard. I mean, you didn't have to worry about like. I think he was a little bit bigger too.
Back up, once we cut him, he was out the league. You know.
Yeah.
And I think DMV, you said this yesterday on the live, right? Because I know a lot of people are talking about Nick Chubb. It could be a situation where Nick Chubb is like, I'm not doing the Oxnard, the camp, and all the extra stuff. So y'all figure it out, and then hopefully he's still unavailable and he doesn't get sniped.
Nick is smart though. It's an injury every year. Nick, like, I'll wait.
Yeah. And at this point, he can kind of probably pick and choose where he wants to go. Pick and choose as far as going to a winner. You could say, okay, I'll take less money to go to a team that can contend for a championship. Or if he doesn't sign by week 1, he could still keep his body healthy until somebody has an injury and needs him. Kind of like Detroit last year. They needed a back late. So.
And also with Kareem Hunt, right? Because Kareem Hunt came in middle of the season once Pacheco got nicked up, right? So So I mean, I feel like there's upside. Like I said, the one thing I would say is I just haven't seen the Cowboys kind of pull it off running back by committee. You know what I'm saying? So if it is, Coach Clayton Adams is going to be amazing. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen many have tried, many have failed when it came to running back by committee. Dallas Cowboys have always been one major workhorse back, and then you have a spell back and a few guys behind them. So I just feel like that's just that one here. Because here's the crazy part, bro. And I said this in the group chat. I swear to God, y'all, if we had this offseason that we had right now, and let's say, for instance, you toss in Quinshon Judkins in this mix with Pickens, I'm talking crazy.
We would have been talking about contending. I think.
Yeah, I'm talking about
tears of joy that would have been rolling down my face.
you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I would have bought the Judkins jersey before he got his number. I would have just had Judkins,
right?
And it was just
I'd have been Tuck on Kool-Aid, Tuck a homer. It'd have been that type of. So, you know what I'm saying? I'd have been talking a little bit reckless, but it's just, I feel like if I just had that running back, I'll feel a little bit okay. And I was saying this in chat, and I'll say it publicly. I feel like if the Dallas Cowboys are going to do this, where people are wanting to be Super Bowl contenders this year, it's going to have to be Dak Prescott MVP caliber season, and 4 takes us there. Because I just don't feel like, especially, we'll see it week 1. Philly gonna say, all right, run it then, smart ass. We're gonna say run it. And let's see the Tyler Bookers and the physical and the tough and the Clayton Adams. Are we gonna commit to the run game versus Philadelphia's stout run defense, or is it gonna be air attack, right? Business as usual. So it's going to be tested. Everything that we've been hearing this offseason will be tested out the gate.
I don't think, let me put my Homer hat on. Y'all know it.
Go ahead.
Let's just pray that Jadon Blue, because of his lack of carries and him being young, that he ain't hit his ceiling. Am I saying he turned into Saquon Barkley or something like that? No. Am I saying that he can develop into maybe a 3-down back? Not this year, but hopefully. Because that is the thing that'll unlock this offense, a legitimate running game. And he's the only one on the team where, I mean, y'all can love Phil Maffa all y'all want to, no disrespect. He's the one on the team where it's like you can say, well, maybe we haven't seen the best of him. We saw the best of Devontae Williams. We've seen the best of Miles Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Blue is like, you hoping. It's a lot of hopium. I know, but you're just hoping that he can develop into something. Well, we're going to have to see.
Right. And I think I was saying this yesterday, right? The hopeism with Jadon Blue is there. And my hopeism is that he could turn into what we should have got last year in Bucky Irving. if he can give us
if
he can give us a Bucky Irving, because I want to do something real quick. I'm doing this while
Bucky be balling, bro.
That's why I want. That's actually why I want Chubb, bro. That's why I want Chubb, because I think he could be our white to him being the Bucky Irving.
Yeah, everybody think we want Chubb because we want him to just be the lead back. It's not that. It's just like I feel like it'll be the perfect compliment for the young boy.
Yeah, we can't like just pound teams right now. Like no Diddy. We can't like that's the aspect
you in my chat.
that we're gonna need. You know what I'm saying? Like if we go down quick 7-0, and then all of a sudden things just seem like they like we rattled a little bit. Like we need somebody to hand the ball off to kind of calm everything down. We don't have that right now.
Let me see if I can get Bucky Irving up here. Is he still in the system? Might not even be here anymore.
I ain't gonna front. I didn't dislike Bucky Irving, but I had the Shaq. I was unfamiliar with your game. He be balling.
Oh man, bro, I want it.
I didn't know he ran that physical. That's what threw me off.
And see, the problem with Bucky Irving, the reason why he slid is because of his size. If his size, he didn't run the 40. The 40 didn't match the size, right?
Yeah.
So,
now I was gonna say against Colorado, he ran tough. He ran tough against them. He ran all over Colorado. Like I mean, he was cooking them.
I like that, man. I like a physical running back. So that's why I wanted Chubb. It's not that Jaden Blue just had to show me he got that in him.
Right.
But
so,
environments change.
He averaged 5.3 yards per attempt at Texas. Yards before
environments change things. He around a bunch of killers. It make like it's a different environment. I think, like I said, somebody like a George Pickens bringing a different type of attitude to that offensive huddle, it might make you go a little bit harder.
Right.
Dak in the huddle talking about nuggets. Like,
Somebody said we sleeping on field, bro.
We sleeping on field.
Here's the thing, man. I'm not sleeping on field, but I feel like Dallas Cowboys fans, we talked about this, is placing a massive parlay on this kid.
Hold on. The next Bo Jackson.
That's what, bro.
Nah, you OD'ing. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Cowboys fans are.
You not know who Bo Jackson was?
we owe Steph Curry. Nah, bro, I've seen, bro, Phil Maffa has been compared to Emmitt Smith and Bo Jackson in the last 2 days.
Bro, I love Emmitt Smith. He wasn't no goddamn Bo Jackson when Bo Jackson was Bo Jackson was special.
And see, I don't know. Cowboys fans are being serious.
Bo Jackson. I think
I'm getting it.
Hey, dog, he got to be trolling, bro. He got to be trolling. We gonna get,
bro. There are people who are saying it. It's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro.
Bo Jackson was like what you see out of Saquon Barkley, but the size of Derrick Henry.
Now,
that was a human. That big, but that fast and agile. Bo Jackson was different. And then he go play a baseball game afterwards.
Bro, he was so fast, he ran out his hip, bro.
Nah, I'm sorry. No disrespect to Phil. Phil Maffa hopefully could turn into something because I need him to. But I can't compare you to Bo Jackson.
Right.
I'm sorry. I was reading. He said, "Phil, the next Bo Jackson." I couldn't even help it.
No, I told you, like, so it's like I feel like I'm coming off as a Phil Maffa hater, but Cowboys fans have been ODing about Phil Maffa.
What's your comp? Give him a real comp, because that Bo Jackson thing is nasty.
I'm gonna do. Let's see here. I'm gonna do this.
Can he be like a regular? Who's a regular player? Can he be the next Javonte Williams?
Bro, hey, in no way possible would Bo Jackson ever share no damn carries with Will Shipley.
Let me see this. Let me do this real quick.
Bo Jackson would have went first in the draft.
Facts.
They would have took him over Cam Ward. That's how good he was.
Bro, Shipley can't even get on the field in Philadelphia, and he couldn't beat him out. Like, just saying.
All right. So all right, we gonna play this game.
Tuck cheating.
You know what I'm saying? We got 5.
I do like the Fournette one though. That's a good comp.
5.8 yards.
Fournette is not bad.
5.8 yards per attempt. 6.1. 4.4. Okay, boom. Chunk plays. Okay, there you go, Maffa. Yards before contact 1.4, 1.2, 0.8. Yards after contact 3.5, 4.6, 4.4. Break tackle percentage 28%, 30, 45. Catch percentage 76, 88, 74. yards per reception. So who do I just compare Phil Maffa to? I compared him to Amarian Hampton and Cam Scatterbo. Now I see the EPA.
Damn, I thought that was him on the right.
Nah,
I was glad it was him on the right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Damn.
So I mean.
Now I'll say this because I'm just a Cam Scatterbo hater. So y'all want some? He better than Cam. I don't care. I don't like
honestly,
Cam Scatterbo, bro.
I don't know. If
Hell no, not for me. I'll take Cam all damn day.
I can't put him over Cam, y'all.
Hunter Lipke better than all of them. He'd have forgotten about dude.
Yeah. And you know what? Shotty talked about that today, and I really wish in my video I kind of dove into that. But me and Tuck talked about that yesterday. It's ironic. Shotty had to watch what we was talking about, bro. Because how the hell he just talk about Lipke and using him as a back? That was kind of crazy to me. We were just like, if we talked about Hunter Lipke being the guy that we're talking that we want for Chubb, then I'm actually okay with that plan. I'm just assuming that they won't do that. But if that was part of the plan, like last year, if you said Hunter Lipke was going to be the role that they wanted Zeke to be, I'm okay with it, bro, because I think he can do it. I
think that, like I said, I think the competition is up. I think there's certain players on this team that y'all got y'all spot because y'all got a front office, y'all got a coaching staff. I really gonna think that's gonna give you a chance to compete. Miles Sanders, they said they want to carry 4 running backs, and I don't even think that's including Hunter because I think they look at him as like a hybrid. If we're gonna carry 4 running backs, right? Deuce Vaughn, with your O-line coach, if you ever had a chance to do something, it's time. It's time.
Right.
So there's a couple of backs that might be able to.
You got your dad, you got your offensive line coach, you got your guard/center. Like, you know, and here's the crazy part, and I was saying this in fairness because when people were calling him, Tony Dorsett, right? Let's keep it a buck. Phil Maffa,
throwing names on it.
Even, you know what I'm saying? Even Jadon Blue, they were not Deuce coming out of college. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think Deuce is done, bro. I don't think Deuce is done. I think Deuce knows what the offensive line coach expects.
I feel like you got to be able to utilize him.
Yeah, I think Deuce going
forward to it. I think camp gonna be the funnest camp we had in a long time.
Deuce gonna have he gonna fight, bro. Trust me. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. And he normally kind of dominates camp too, anyway. But he got some people in his corner. It ain't gonna be easy, bro. Like I actually think I probably will put Deuce in front of Phil Maffa personally.
I mean,
one of these dudes. Listen. If Phil ends up in the practice squad,
that's okay.
It is.
Right. I promise you, Cowboys Nation, I will get you another Phil Maffa if we lose him.
I just think that he'd be competing with Javonte Williams.
Malik Davis still here?
No, we got rid of Malik.
So Phil, you the new Malik. You about to hold down that practice squad. It's okay.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all act like a lot of these players ain't going to the practice squad. It's going to happen.
Right. A whole lot of them. You know what I'm saying? We do that every year when we think so-and-so is going to get sniped. It's only going to be a few. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But let me get to the super chat real quick because he asked this question. I forgot about it. So, Brandon J, $5 super chat.
Great question.
Can we talk about this battle in the edge room? Who starts opposite of Micah? Fowler, Donovan, Needham, Slam Wilson coming back. Camp going to be lit. It is. So, DMV, I'll kick that over to you. Who do you think is going to be opposite of Micah Parsons? Because I got an interesting nugget about that, I think.
I think Nealon will have every opportunity to be that, but I think it'll be Fowler to start it out. I mean, personally, he has. If you look at the year he had last year for the Washington team and actually being one of the catalysts on defense in that pass rush, I think it'll be Fowler, but I think that it'll be groomed for Nealon to be that guy. And then Donovan, from what I've been hearing, is he might be the guy to take that spot. But I think that Fowler starts out there. I don't know if he ends there, if you get what I'm saying. I think the rotation is going to be crazy. And then Micah, we talked about this yesterday, Tuck, where we think that there are going to be some packages where Micah could be moving to backer, especially with Overshown being down. And, we'll have pass rush that way. It was very imperative that they got edge. And we talked about yesterday that They made it a point to go get edge because maybe this was the plan for Overshown to come back.
I know what they're doing.
Right. What about you, Ron?
I think they about to turn Marshawn Neal into Tyrone Crawford. They about to make him a
play
tweener.
Inside.
They about to make him he's gonna be a tweener. He gonna play edge on certain downs, but he gonna be a tweener.
They set him up last year. They were saying, "Oh, we just didn't have enough guys." No, they were trying.
And I think Fowler will start, and I think Fowler do a year. Easy will start next year. I think Nealon becomes the tweener where he still plays both, but I think with his size, he already like 280. He can get if he gained 20 pounds, you a DT. So. It is what it is. I think that they wanted somebody with true pass rush ability, not just we can train you up. And Donovan Easy, I can't give him too many props, but he do look like he has a pass rush tool set, at least coming out of college. I think what's just speed to power. He just big in here. That's what Marshawn Neal about to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I'm gonna tweak it slightly, Ron. I think that, well, I'm not sure if they'll do it, but if it's me, I'm going to make a tweak and have a tweener, but it's going to be Sam Williams. I think that Sam Williams is a guy that you can move in.
I like
because
Sam.
he played. Because people forget when he was at Ole Miss, he didn't play really edge. He played as a 3-tech the entire time, pretty much at Ole Miss. So out of college,
that's the way he gets on his team.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Sam Williams, I am raising my hand to be that hybrid because I guarantee you. Probably around week 5 when we're doing cover 3 as we gear up for who is that? I don't know. Not
Jets. I think it's the Jets.
Right. As we gear up for the Jets, we'll be talking about Donovan Easy need more reps. You know what I'm saying? D Easy needs more reps, right? You're gonna probably have Nealon get in where you fit in. You're gonna have Fowler. I think Sam Williams has the opportunity to get squeezed out because I highly doubt they're gonna pay him next year. But if you want to get the best film and get your opportunity to really be in that rotation, I am saying let me play in the inside and be your hybrid.
You know what I just thought about, y'all? That just hit me differently. I agree with you. I'm not even mad about the Sam. I think somebody gonna become a tweener, Tuck. That's the way they're gonna find value.
Yeah. I mean, someone's gonna have to be the Chauncey, and then you also have Solomon Thomas who kind of do that role. You know,
I forgot that White Cotton hangs his hat on rotation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's way different than any of our like what was his name? They went to Seattle. The dude, Dirty.
Yeah.
Like he likes rotation. He talks about how a good rotation keeps everybody fresh, and we don't really do that as much. We got a whole lot of like you kind of play 70% of the snaps, and then somebody else coming for like if we're gonna have a true rotation, and all these guys are gonna stay fresh, but there's gonna be a couple of people that just actually start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that because I don't think we've seen that. I've never seen Micah because Micah looked like he wears down. You give Michael a couple of in between plays where he can stay fresh for the fourth. We might get a better version of Micah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he go out there, he going up. You see him in the first 2 quarters, he a million miles an hour, and then he wear down in the trenches, and then the fourth, he kind of burnt out. But if White Cotton could get him like 10 snaps off.
Yeah. Imagine against Philadelphia not having to go against Lane Johnson every time, but really attacking the interior. Where I think that's the way
of moving him, bro, DMV. Yeah, so that way you're not banging against Lane Johnson. Because I'm saying, bro, if you bang with Lane Johnson for 50 plays and you win one of them, hooray. You know what I'm saying? Congrats. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or 2. Let's say Micah whoops Lane Johnson's ass for 2 plays. For 48 of those, you had wear and tear in your body. So I think that.
But give him somebody else that can crash dummy him for 10 plays.
Right. You need another.
Yeah, and then the changeup. Then he's the changeup, and that speed is different. And then Lane's up a little bit.
Yeah,
look at Will McDonald. Look at the Jets D line and how some of those players might not be the same because of the rotation that White Cotton was doing. You know, if you go into a game like I'm about to get 12 snaps, I can go full crazy strength. I'm only playing 12 snaps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Micah, I got about 55 snaps. I got to ramp down sometime.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Hey, y'all, we've been rocking for an hour and a half, you know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot to talk about, but we're not done. We're going to do some more cover 3s.
We'll be back, y'all. We ain't going to OD.
You know what I'm saying? So we back. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling Cowboys Nation, hey, it's okay to enjoy y'all summer. You know what I'm saying? I see so many people. So, like, get outside, go for a walk. You know what I'm saying? Touch some grass and touch some and relax.
Saturday night, cover 3. and I'm gonna bring some drinks in the.
we might, because I might get the house back to myself again. You know, what I'm saying, talking to White this weekend. So
you talking had a good. That's a story for another day.
Yeah. That's a whole. It'll be a whole different. Y'all gonna definitely have to leave that one. So yeah, man, we appreciate it. Y'all like, man, Tuck ain't say nothing on the entire street.
I ain't even know Tuck got busy. It Tuck a little busy.
Man, stuck like Tuck, man. So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Like I said, Cowboys Nation, we're excited about this upcoming season. You know, we'll talk about the schedule release coming up, but I know we're gonna be at a few games. I'm gonna be at some games. I'm trying to get the gang in Vegas. I'm trying to get some cover 3 in Vegas.
Tuck tired of Dallas, y'all. I'm trying to go to this Packers game.
I think the Packers game might be it if that Bud and Canelo fight out there, bro. That might be it.
Yeah.
I can hit the Packers game. Tuck ain't trying to hear it. He like, man, Dallas.
I'm going to the
Bud Canelo's the way to get him.
I'm be at the Packers game, bro, but I'm gonna be at that Raiders game. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna be as happy at the Packers game.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You talking about the Packers game, bro? I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was there getting punched on, and I remember. I'm not sure if it was the Cowboy readers, but there was a point where I'm thought, all right, Tuck, we're about to come back. You know what I'm saying? It could happen. Dexter. I'm like, bro. And then it was like, boom, Tucker Craft touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That shit sobered me up so quick. It's like, Tuck, it is not happening today. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to mental math. Okay, we get a stop here, get the ball back. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
One thing we doing, DMV.
Blood versus Green Bay. You know
we ain't doing them same seats, DMV. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do something different this time.
Hell yeah.
I didn't get it back in blood versus Green Bay, but I'm damn sure going to be out there when we play the Raiders on Monday Night Football. So, man, tune in, subscribe to all the channels, like the content, share the content. We appreciate your support. Y'all know we love the community, man. We love vibing with y'all, talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's always fun rocking with my bros, man. And we got some more stuff lined up. Got some guests coming on too, so you definitely don't want to miss out, man. So for J Tuck, CFT, DMV, cover 3, and we out. DMV got all the Caitlin Clark lovers. Yeah. Let's chill. All right, peace, y'all.